Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back to another Aviation video. Today I'll be doing a little bit of a review on the new Top Gun Maverick movie. I was able to view it yesterday on the 25th of May, the premiere, the day before officially released actually, as I was very fortunate as to win 2 tickets to view it. So there will be some spoilers in the video, but there's not really like much to spoil of the whole movie. Yeah, it's not like the huge massive deal, and I know everyone always says that, and that annoys me when I hear it, but that's how it is. I'm just saying that. So yeah, the movie was actually really good. I did really enjoy it. I was thinking it would be good. I was just quite tired, irritated, annoyed, had a lot going on, but I still managed to enjoy it a lot, and it was very good. Especially the ending. I was a little bit concerned that the ending wouldn't be so good and that things were going to drop quite a bit. But they did successfully, it didn't even go down and then have to recover, it just kept going good basically the whole time. One thing that was really good is it was very, very realistic. You'll see that in the videos at the end. Yeah, very realistic. They've used many real shots, and he's been in command of the aircraft at many times, and they've done like shots in an aircraft. So many of the kind of G-forces and the facial reactions and things like that were actually real, and they were not acted out. That's just a physical thing. And they also used real fighter pilots. So later on towards the end of this video, I'll just show the trailer. There will be behind the scenes video, and Microsoft Flight Simulator have also, on behalf of, by Xbox, have released a Xbox kind of thing for Top Gun as well, just so they can capitalize on the movie. So there's also some shots of that which looks quite cool. So basically the storyline is he's, probably you know what happened in the first Top Gun. So assuming you know that, he's basically been piloting for 30 years and continuing what he's doing, and now he's been asked to train pilots to be able to complete missions. So he's basically coming up to retirement or forced retirement soon, not really there yet. They were looking for people to train some new pilots to be the best of the best. They are part of the Top Gun, and they apparently went through a whole list of people. They couldn't find anyone, and then Iceman, his old friend, which we'll mention a little bit more later on, recommended they use Maverick or Pete Mitchell. So they then use him, and they do that. And I was thinking the story may be a bit hard to follow and make revolve around many different things, but it basically revolved around one main mission of bombing some targets. So they practiced bombing it. Then they just had to go through a valley since the targets had guns and missiles on the valley at an altitude, so they had to stay below, I believe it was 300 feet or even 100 feet or something ridiculously low like that, and they had to travel very fast through the valley. And basically it revolved around one maneuver. They had to climb to go over a big peak, and then they would flip over, so they'd fly inverted, and then they would pull up on the yoke to fly down while still inverted to go over the valley. It kind of revolved around that whole maneuver. So they just basically, they did that. So I'll probably show that on screen now. So that was kind of the main shot of that. Things went a little bad. We'll get into the characters a little bit later. But Rooster basically was just a little bit slow, but then he gained determination in the moment. He went and they told him it was actually going too fast. He caught up with them, and after they got out of it and they started getting followed by some foreign aircraft who were just patrolling around, they went into a whole kind of dogfight and shooting, and they were able to successfully make it at the end, and I really did think he would die. I do like it when they add variety to some movies where the main character dies, but in this one that just would have been absolutely devastating. With the characters, since it's 2022 and everything, they've tried to use a diverse range of characters. It was quite good though. I found like the Bob character quite interesting. They all had call signs like Maverick and other things, and his name was Bob and his call sign was Bob. It did stand for something, it stands for Robert. And he was just kind of the more quote nerdy character. But it was kind of good to just see some different characters, and it was a little bit funny with the character, and it was also funny where it kind of started off with they were going to scrap a mission and a program. The government were, so he kind of stole an aircraft, and they needed to go at Mach 10, and he kind of went above Mach 10, being the rebel he is, and when he got to about Mach 10.4 or 10.5, the aircraft just basically blew up and disintegrated, so he had to eject himself from the aircraft, and then he landed in the middle of nowhere and had to walk into a pub, and everyone was just looking at him, so that was also a bit of a funny moment. There was some comedy in there. But it also kind of followed the storyline of Rooster in the previous one, where they had to eject from the aircraft, but the canopy got stuck on Rooster's dad, and he died in that incident. So Rooster's holding a grudge on him, and to the best of my recollection, he also denied Rooster's papers to be able to advance forward before pushing him back about 3-4 years. So Rooster had a huge grudge against him. He kind of didn't cooperate with him, as Maverick was being the teacher. So then when they were doing dogfighting practice, they both went into a dive and they didn't want to get out of it because of the grudge they held. They were uncooperating, there was a fight and things like that, and Maverick had quite a lot of flashbacks and was quite emotional as a result of that. But afterwards, when they were doing the mission, let me think, oh yes, they had to work together to fight off the enemies since they were both in 2 different aircraft. I believe it started off, they just became generally a bit more friendly and less of an enemy, and then they flew through the valley to complete the mission. He was far behind. He said, remember what your dad would do. And he then repeated his slogan or phrase of, don't think it, just do it. Otherwise, well, when you're flying high-powered aircraft at very high speeds and enemies are chasing you, then you die. So he did that. He fastly accelerated, even outspeeding Maverick. He caught up. They all did the mission. Maverick then ran out of flares and bullets when he got into a dogfight with an enemy aircraft patrolling around. He then got shot down, and yeah, he was just in the, he had to eject from the plane, and he just kind of ended up in a forest area and had to hide behind a log. There was a helicopter that, probably wouldn't really look for him that intently in real life, but yeah, it came around, it looked for him, it was shooting excessively and intensively at him. He was gonna get shot at and killed. You could tell from the way it was kind of going along. He was hiding behind this log, and the helicopter was maybe 20 feet above the ground. It was super low, just moving around the log while he jumped over it. And then what we kind of predicted would happen, Rooster actually came around in his fighter jet and he shot him down. Then I don't remember what exactly happened. It happened that Rooster got shot down as well, or his aircraft broke up or something like that, and he had to eject from the aircraft. So they both ended up there together. And he just said, what are you doing? That was silly. And he says, you said just do, not think. So then they went into the enemy Air Force base that they just blew up. They blew up the Air Force base and they blew up another target as well. They stole a really old plane. I think it was an F-14 or an F-16. And they had to take off on a very short taxiway with obstruction everywhere. They just did that after being at full throttle, having the wings fully extended, having the brakes on, and obviously starting with the brakes on and the throttle at full. So, they successfully went out of that. They successfully killed off 2 other planes in a dogfight when they were using much better aircraft. Like they said that it's not possible to do it in those planes. But they did do it kind of through mostly evading and that. So even though they had a much worse aircraft, they then landed back and yeah, they just became friends really. Since they saved each other's life, and especially Rooster kind of had more of an impact towards Maverick and saving his life. So they became good friends since that, and they kind of worked together, which was better. Another kind of spoiler, so we already mentioned Iceman at the start. He then, Iceman then messages Maverick, and then he goes to visit him. He's in a very bad shape. And then within 5 minutes in the movie, he is dead, and he goes to his funeral. So that was kind of a bit of a sadder moment for some people as well. And there's already speculation that part number 3 is going to start. So some people are wondering if that's true. That's mostly just speculation of companies wanting to get more views and more money from you, from adverts. So yeah, I mean, it's very, very unlikely. They've taken basically 40 years, I believe it was 36 years, yeah, it was 36 years because it was 1986, wasn't it? Yeah. To do this, it's very unlikely they'll do that. They're all kind of getting old. But I suppose that they could, if they did do it, I assume they'd do it. Maybe Maverick would still be in the movie, but he'd be kind of a supporting character, not a main character. They could have the kind of other lead take over, and it could still be under the same name of the Top Gun and still focus on the Top Gun group, but it wouldn't include him so much. So I guess that could be a refresh, and they could also basically kill Maverick or let him die out, but that wouldn't be so satisfying. And I do think that they would have quite a large number of people against that idea, but I guess if it makes them money in their arse of that, they could do that, but they've already got enough. But yeah, it was quite a satisfying, happy ending, and it went quite well. The only kind of thing was Iceman, but yeah, it did go quite well, and I'm going to stop talking really much and show you the trailers, the behind the scenes, and the Xbox thing. So, yeah, before you go on to see that, which you can do, and I think it's a good idea that you do. Yeah, the trailer doesn't have any spoilers, behind the scenes does a little bit, the Xbox doesn't have any except that they're in planes, which I guess you already can know and predict. So, yeah, stick around for that. If you're on the fence about that, you can just like watch a minute or 10 seconds or 5 seconds or however long you want. So yeah, before it goes on to that, thanks so much for watching this video of mine. Stay safe, have a fantastic day. I really do hope to see you in the next video, and I really do hope you just enjoyed the rest. And if you have any questions or anything, feel free to message me on Discord or Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to whatever. Or if you want to, like, if you've seen it and you want to look more in depth of it, that's fine. Or if you, yeah, whatever. Anyways, once again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest. Bye, guys.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
What do we have here? God, here I thought we were special.
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Whatever.
What the hell kind of mission is this?
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen. Not even him.
You think up there you're dead. Believe me.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
Someone's not coming back from this.
Those are your pilots. Anything happens to them.
Smoke in here!
You'll never forgive yourself.
No turning back now.
Come on! Jeez!
Having any fun yet?
Aviation sequences had to be real. So our actors went through 3 months of grueling training.
The Navy says if you eject, you have to be able to survive in the water. So we had to go through that challenging underwater program.
It's intense. You're flipped inverted, and you're having to try and get out.
From there, Tom designed this all-encompassing aviation training for all the actors.
I started them out in a single-engine airplane to build up their spatial awareness inside the aircraft.
Oh, wow. That's amazing! Oh, my God!
Next, we took them to the L-39, and they went and flew aerobatics to feel what it's like in a jet.
Get some speed. Wow.
From there, they'd graduate to the F-18 Super Hornet and actually launching off an aircraft carrier.
That's what I'm talking about.
The actors also had to learn how to run the cameras because when they're up in the jet, they have to direct themselves essentially.
Okay, I'm rolling.
I had to really teach them cinematography and the lighting so that they understood what's gonna look good on camera.
Sun angle's great.
Everybody thought it would be impossible for actors to really be in the jets. But that's the gift that Tom gave us, that by the time we got up there, we could handle it.
It still blows my mind that we've done this. There's nothing like it.
His exploits are legendary. His call sign, Maverick.
In the Navy, every single pilot each have a call sign.
Rooster.
Watch your back, Phoenix.
We gotta move, Coyote!
Who are your friends?
Stay back.
Fanboy.
What do they call you?
Bob?
No, your call sign.
Bob. Literally.
When you hear their call sign, you're hearing a bit of their history.
Where's he going?
That's why we call him Hangman. He'll always hang you out to dry.
Call signs are kind of informal social ways that we address each other, as well as showcasing the positive message of naval aviation.
We got you, Mav.
Come on!
Viper 1 ready.
Maverick to range control, stand by. All right, 3, 2, 1.